Now we move on to discuss how we can use the for loop to print this kind of plot, which is a plot of cosine from 0 to 90 degrees. So import NumPy, import pyplot, use this line because we're working in interactive Python using Jupyter Notebook. Convert from radians to degrees. So that's pi divided by 180 because pi in radians is 180. Angle vector is a group of numbers that starts at 0 and stops at 90. So you're going from angle 0 degrees to 90 degrees. And then we're going in increments of 5. So first item is 0, second item is 5, next is 10, and we're going to stop at 90. That's why we made this greater than 90, because you stop one short of the last item. Cos angle. Initialize it to 0 and let it have the same shape as angle vec. And this is what I asked you to do for tvec, right? Tvec will be a range of a number going from 0 to 20. And then qvec will be initialized with np.zeros and have the same dimension as tvec. So anglevec.shape, index.0, and then we move into the for loop. Angle, which is really any variable of your choice, but here we know we're going to be using the angles on the x-axis, so we'll put the angle here. In your flow rate time plots, x-axis is time, so t replaces angle, and then tvec will be here. So each item in angle vec, which is 0, 5, 10, and so on, will be coming into the angle one at a time. First time through, 0 degrees gets stored in angle, and then you can find cosine at the first index. Index is 0, right? And it's np.cos for cosine, and it's the angle, which is 0 degrees times degree to radian. We're converting it to degrees. And then we have the increment, so that the next time the result is stored in the next index instead of overriding at the same location. That's why it's important to have these at the bottom. So remember two things: colon signifying the end of the line with the for statement, and the indexing signifying that these lines of code need to be executed within this iteration. Very important. So here you see we are determining the angle by picking items from angle vec one at a time, and then to figure out the index where to store the item, we use index scalar, and it's just index equals index plus 1. We intentionally started it at 0, do the first calculation, store it at the first index, and then increment so that the next calculation will be stored at the second index, and so on. And then you can plot it x-axis, y-axis, and plt.show, and you get this result. You can print the cosine of the angles here. You can iterate items within, so your for loops don't necessarily have to only work with numbers. You can also work with strings or items in a list. So this is your list. Your list has 3 items. And then remember, this just has to be a collection, something that has more than one item. And of course, animals is a list that has more than one item, and we're grabbing each one and sorting it into names. So first time through, name is what? Dog. So you print name, dog. Second time through, name is cat. Print name, cat, and so on. Again, remember, colon to signify the end of the for line, indentation. This will save you of trouble. You can get index and name by using enumerate on the collection. So we use enumerate on the list, and then it gives you the indices of the list in addition to the items in the list. So first time through, let's run it. Why? Because it doesn't know animals, because we didn't run this one. Now I'll run it and now it's available. So I set this to index plus 1 because first index is 0. So I want to show it as 1, so I added 1 here. And then name, of course, is the first item in animals, which is dog. And then next time into the loop, this is 2, and this is what? Cat. Next time is 3, the item is horse. How about dictionaries, another data type, which we have talked about previously, right? With dictionaries, you need key value pairs, and then it's comma, another key value pair, comma, another key value pair. So you can print it, it looks just like what you initialized it with. And because it's key value pairs, you can go in and grab the key and the value from a dictionary. So this is how to work with it. Say for key value in my dict.items. And then first time through, it's going to be cats for the key, 4 for the value. Second time through is dogs for the key, 2 for the value. Last time is sheep and 3 for the value, like so. And that brings us to the end of lab 3.